Coming up on this episode of the Two Bros Music Podcast, episode 4, Bitchfest. We get into bitching about some of our equipment, new equipment that we got, and we also have a special Turn It Up segment at the end of the show. Stay tuned. Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to a new episode of the Two Bros Music Podcast. I'm Joe.
This is I'm Adam, and this is what, number 4?
Yeah. No, I get. Is it 4?
Yeah. 4th of July one was number
3. Oh, that's what threw me off because it was the 4th of July. But yeah, I think this is 4.
Yeah, we got a long mountain to climb. We're at 4.
We're almost at 100 episodes.
When that happens, wow, that's going to be, that'd be cool.
We're going to have to get like a sound effect for when we hit 10.
Oh, yeah. 10th episode.
Woo, you made it. Yeah.
Hey, we got a fan I see that you showed me in England.
Yeah, somebody picked it up in England.
All right.
I hope they listened to it all. They might have turned it on and then just shut it off.
What's this shite?
Yeah. So welcome everybody. Just get into it tonight. At the end of the show, of course, we got that Turn It Up segment. And right now I got some equipment in. I've been posting it on the blog, the website. And you got a guitar. Your guitar came in, huh?
Yeah, I got a guitar. Yeah, I think we should let everybody in on. I think this is gonna become Bitchfest night. Because I think we're going to complain about equipment, but I guess, hey, you get stuff and that's how you learn.
Yeah.
You can help somebody out with the complaints. Mine ain't all so drastic. It's probably all fixable, but
yeah. Then
maybe people could chime in and email us or let us know if they got fixes for it. So
yeah, or leave comments for us.
Yeah, comments. So why don't we start with yours? What's
You want to open that can of worms, huh?
Yeah,
I got my Mac Mini. So originally what I was going to do is I have my old tower, my G4 tower, my original Mac, and it has that full-size wired keyboard, right? With the numeric pad and everything. So I figured, you know what? I'll go retro and I'll just hook that up to it because I like that keyboard anyway, even though it's old. And so I plug it in when I was setting up the computer. And it said there is no keyboard plugged in, and I was like, "Yeah, it is." So it wouldn't identify it, and it's an Apple product. So I was like,
But hold on a minute. Let's go. Let's take that back.
Yeah,
you're talking about your Apple tower. We're not even talking about G5 towers.
No, it's a G4.
Yeah, it's a G4 from like when 2000.
Yeah, like 2001, 2002. I got it.
Yeah, I'm sure the thing should have given you the middle finger. So get that shit out of here.
So, all right. Well, so I figured, okay, it's old. All right. And I'm getting old. So, I do dumb things sometimes. So I went and got the keyboard, the wireless one that I was using off my iMac, the computer I just replaced.
Yeah.
So, and of course that one connected right away and everything, but it's the little short one, that little stubby one. So, I mean, it works fine. It connects and everything. But I want the big keyboard, right? So I went online and I found another one. It's a Bluetooth, and I read all the reviews and all that. And it said it was a brand that I hadn't heard of, but it was on Amazon. So I said, all right, I'll give it a shot. And it was cheap, it was fairly cheap. It was like $30. So I ordered it. It came this week, and I went and plugged it in or connected it earlier this week. Make sure it was working, and it was working. It connected and everything, to type on it and everything. So I said, okay, cool, this is working, and it's new, and it's got, the full 104 keys and everything. And so then after I checked it and I connected it, of course, I turned the computer off and I went and did other stuff. So then last night, I got back on because I wanted to do some stuff. And so I turned the computer back on and it wouldn't recognize the computer. Like it lost the connection that it had.
Yeah.
So here I go. I had to go get the iMac computer or the keyboard that I was using to initially set it up, right?
Yeah.
So that one connected right away, and I got in, I logged in and everything. So then I went into the system preferences, and I had to reconnect the damn keyboard again. So once I got it working, it was working fine, but it's like every time I shut down the computer and turn it back on, it like loses like it doesn't remember the connection. So I'm like, okay, so this isn't going to work for me because I'm going to get annoyed and throw it through the window.
Yeah.
So, so that was one issue I had.
I got what I use is a Logitech. It's a what do you call it? It's got the solar thing on it, and it works fine. It picks it up. It works good with that. But that's the one thing. If you go with these like cheap brands, that these knockoffs, that there might not be that compatible with the newer Apples.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. It was, I mean, because it did recognize it once I go set it up, but it's like to do that every time I go turn on the computer, it's a hassle. So for right now, I just went back to the iMac keyboard, the little mini wireless keyboard. But I ordered another one, but this one's wired. It's a McNally brand. So those I've heard about, and they've been making products for Apple for a while. So hopefully that'll come this week. Hopefully that'll work. And it's I have to plug it in. It's wired, but that's good. I don't have to worry about batteries and shit with it. So that should solve that problem if it works. If my new Mac Mini will recognize it. Because it didn't recognize my old keyboard. So, but then the other issue I had, all right, now this is partially on me. Remember, I think I was telling you, it wasn't during the podcast or anything, but last week we had talked. And I went to go get on Slate Digital. I went to go get that free plugin. They were giving away a free plugin for like the holiday, 4th of July.
Yeah.
And so I went and I went to go download it. Of course, you have to set up an account. All these developers and everything, their pages, you always have to make an account, which is a pain in the ass as it is. I just wanted to download the plugin. So I set up the account. I was like, all right, I'll go through the bullshit. Set up the account, and I downloaded it. And they all have now like a download manager you have to download first. You can't just go download the actual thing that you want. So I downloaded the download manager. I ran it, and it ran fine on my new Mac. And so then I went to go download the free plugin. So I got the plugin, downloaded it, and that seemed like it went good. So then when I opened up Logic to check, that it's there and everything, it said that I need the iLock.
Any of that stuff. That's how they keep you.
But now it's like in the old days with the iLock, you had to have like that USB key. Now the way they have their thing is you just have to go on there and make an account, and they verify you or whatever.
Yeah,
and especially for like these free things, it's not So here we go. So I went to iLock, and I had just done this. Remember when I got the Windows computer, when I was trying to set up the free Pro Tools, because I needed the iLock then. So I remember I set up an account, but stupid me, I didn't write down none of my information. So I forgot what I used as a password and everything. So basically I said, okay, I'm just going to make a new account, start from scratch. So I did it from scratch. I went in, did all that bullshit. I went back to Logic to open up, the plugin, and so iLock right away popped up the little window saying, "Okay, enter your credentials." So I kept entering I caught my error after, but I kept entering my email that I signed up with.
Yeah.
But they just wanted the username, but I didn't catch that when I was entering my shit because I was already frustrated with all these accounts I had to set up.
Just get irritated.
Yeah. So the more irritated you get, the less focused you are. So I kept putting in my email, and it kept saying, we do not accept it. We don't, it kept airing out. I was like, fuck. So I said, you know what? It was a free plugin. Screw it. I'm just going to delete all this shit. So I went in and I basically backtracked and deleted everything. And I said, all right, that's it. I'm done. I was frustrated. I turned off the computer and I went to bed. I was like, all right. But you know how we are, and like it bugs you and it keeps playing in your head. So So I'm lying in bed and I keep thinking about it. What the fuck did I do wrong? I just made the password and I even wrote down my all the information this time. So for right now, I wouldn't forget it. Because I hadn't yet put it in my password manager. So I was like, there's something with I'm not doing. What the fuck? So then it hit me. As did they ask for? Then I started thinking, did it ask for your email or did it ask for your username? Because most of the time, you could put either one, right, and it'll accept it. But not iLock. So then it bugged me enough to where I got out of bed, I went back and turned on the computer, and I re-downloaded everything again. Sat there for another half hour, re-download. The only good thing is I didn't have to make new accounts. So I went back and did all that shit. Then when I got back to the screen where, open Logic and went to it, and then the iLock screen came on, I looked and it said username. It didn't say email. So I put just the username and boom, it opened up. And I was like, all right, cool, I'm in. And then right when it opened up, then the plugin itself had the little window pop up and say, it's not compatible with your version of Mac. I was like, So I did all that shit and it didn't work ultimately. But at least I figured out why and all that. So,
well, that's also too, because you got the newest computer, you got the newest operating system. They're probably not up to that operating system yet.
Yeah.
The software always is behind with that stuff. So I don't update so much. I make sure before I update, because I use Pro Tools and all my other software, my plugins and everything can support whatever I update to.
Yeah.
So my operating system's always a little behind, but yeah, when you get the computer,
I'm gonna do that now, not update right away, but I had to. Well, this one just came with the Big Sur, and then when I turned it on and there was updates to some of my other software like the iWorks and all that, I just the Pages and all. I just said update everything because I just wanted to get through all the updates, and then it went and updated to the latest version of Big Sur.
Yeah.
So I did screw up there, I think, because I shouldn't have went all the way to the latest.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was already on Big Sur anyway. So.
But that's a learning curve. You got to go to the main, Logic and all. Well, Logic should be there. I mean, that's an Apple-based program. So
yeah, Logic works. Everything in Logic works. It's these third-party plugins that you try to run.
Hey, you got to check and see that they can support it.
But the Tune Tracks, the Easy Drummer. I got that worked. I opened that up. It didn't give me no errors.
Oh yeah, that worked because I run Superior Drummer.
Yeah, so at least that one worked. But then of course, like I was telling you last week, my Helix, the one that I just bought that I'm still paying off, from Sweetwater, they didn't update that one, so I can't use that one. That's like broken right now. I have to wait till the end.
Funny you mention that because that's line 6.
Yeah.
I got an actual line 6 Helix floorboard, the floor model.
Yeah.
And this thing was working fine. I got it last summer, and it was working fine. Then I started checking, it's got updates. So I've been updating. Then since I've updated, this thing crashes on me constantly. Thing fucking annoys me. I try to jam. I got this drummer I'm jamming with. I try to jam with him. Thing's crashing on me every other song. I sit in here 5 minutes, have the thing on, not even that sometimes, and the thing freezes up on me. It's like the button stopped working. Once I start hitting buttons and nothing's working, here we go again. I got to turn the thing off, turn it back on. And now I've, like I said, updated it. I've reinstalled the firmware. I wiped it clean back to factory mode. I saw some stuff says wipe it clean, start over, and then load in my plugins and all my settings. And I've done that, and nothing helps. It's a fucking thing, man. I'm about ready to tell line 6 to fucking
show it.
I mean, it's like it's making my camper even go. It's like it's sitting here looking at me, going, "Yep, that's right, buddy." Kemper's way better. Those jerks, like the thing ain't. You look at the Kemper, it's not so sexy. It's not so good to look at. It's pretty calm, pretty basic looking.
It's kind of fugly looking from what I see.
It's fugly. It made it look like a toaster. That's what they even call it. And then look at the line 6 Helix. The floorboard is badass. It's all black. You can change all the different colors around and shit. But the thing fucking doesn't work right, And then I'm like, it's like a Mickey Mouse Axe Effects.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but this thing's supposed to run vocals, your guitars. You can run multiple ends and run different stuff. And I'm like, great. I'll run my vocals while I'm singing, my guitar's through here. So I'll control it all through my fucking Helix. Yeah, I don't see that happen. This thing freezes up. Now more research into it too. This DSP. I figure if you have all those options to use all that stuff, you can do it. No, I can't. If you do the wrong combination of things and you pack it up too much, you'll freeze up your DSP and the thing. I don't know if that's what's causing it, but even on simple channels where I have like an amp simulator on there or modeler and then some couple pedals and the thing freezes. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah. So
that sounds like those old Windows machines. That's why originally I had switched to Mac.
Yeah.
Because I remember my old little tower Windows, the last one I had before I switched in the early 2000s. That one I had it down to where like it would get a bug or whatever. Remember the dial-in modems, all that noise, and it would get like a bug or something. I was like, fuck, I gotta wipe it. So I had that down to like 4 hours. I could wipe the thing, the drive, and then reset all my programs up in like 4 hours.
What a hassle!
That's a pain in the ass.
Shit. That's why, like, when I first got a computer, it was Apple, and I was like, music. I'm like, no. I've seen my buddy like Craig. He had a Windows computer and he was running Cubase, and the thing would always freeze on him or start running real slow when he had too many tracks that he was recording. I'm like, fuck that. I'm getting an Apple. I'm not even messing with that shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, Apple, they're good with that stuff, but they can be cornholes with other things. So, they kind of piss me off too. I mean, I guess that's what we get as consumers, and I work in manufacturing, and it's like, sometimes it's get the product out and we'll fix the bugs later with software. That's just how companies work. And, they know that they have these problems, but it's like, they got to get that money to pay for the R&D,
Yeah.
And then once it starts coming in, they're fixing those problems as they go. But,
and the other thing too is there's bugs that they don't even know about.
There's bugs they don't even know about.
Yeah. So once it gets out there and then it becomes known, then they can work on it.
And that's why, like, a lot of times too, where you see where they do these updates, they do the beta test release. And in manufacturing, for those people who don't know, that's all about, okay, get it out there and break it. They want people to find the bugs, find the problems, and then report them all. And then that's why too, a lot of times, like, I know Apple's do it. I don't know if the other computers do it, but when you have a problem with an issue with your software or something, it'll say, do you want to report to Apple?
Yeah.
So that it goes to them and they find these bugs and they can fix it. I mean, that's a cool thing with software. At least you can fix it through the internet. In the old days, it's like you had to take it to a shop to some guy. He's going to tear into it and he's got to be an authorized repairman.
Yeah.
At least we're out of those days. You can fix it through the computer and updates. But it's frustrating when you get something, you're like, fucking work, man.
Well, and with Apple, though, the bitch is sometimes you do got to take the hardware in. And if you don't have an Apple store by you, you're fucked. Like,
Yeah.
Because, like you're in the Bay Area. So, they got a bunch of them.
Apple.
I have one here. So, luckily, I could just go here. But, like, if I'm living somewhere like, in a rural part of the state, you got to travel 3-4 hours to get to the store. So.
Or you call, get some tech support, but then they send you to somewhere in the Philippines or India or somewhere else.
Yeah.
Tech support of anybody here. And it's like, do these guys even work on Apples?
Yeah.
It's like, who are you contracting this out to?
They're just reading the scripts.
They're just reading a script and just answering the phone and passing on your ticket. But it's, I guess that's just part of nowadays, just the world we live in. So
and then, so then the other issue I had a couple more things I was connecting. I had my old monitor because I have it hooked up to my old TV that I had. It's like a flat screen, but it's like 10 years old. So it's like real thick, but it's like a little 26-inch TV. So I was like, that's good enough just to, so I can have like a monitor. So I went and pulled out my old actual computer monitor, and I had it before I bought that iMac. So I plugged that in because I had bought a little dock to add more ports so I can input shit in.
Yeah.
So, and that had, the old one is a VGA. So I plugged the VGA cord and that worked good. So I was like, whoa, something worked. And it picked, the Mac picked it up and it was, so I had 2 screens. But now what I'm thinking of is because I have a TV in the loft. I'll take a picture and I'll post it like on the website with this episode. I'm thinking instead of having the old little TV and then my monitor, I'm thinking of just putting the monitor as my main screen, and then with the HDMI connecting it up to my newer flat screen that's in the room on a wall mount. So because it kind of overlooks my drums and the computer. So I'm thinking it so I could put the secondary screen up on the wall. So that's kind of what I'm playing with that. But yeah, other than that, I got that working. So there was no real frustration there. But then the next thing that I did, I have all these old hard drives that I have saved.
Yeah.
And I have an old SSD, and it's old, like 5 years old. It's not old. So I was going to use that as my backup for now. So I don't have to go buy another SSD. So, and what I used to use for backup is I have this like old little toaster interface where you plug in through USB into the computer. And then it's got a little, you pop the actual hard drive. So it could be an internal hard drive. You put it in there and it sets in, and then it connects to the computer and you can read everything off the drive or backup, whatever. And then you could take it out, like when you turn off the computer, you could take it out and put the hard drive away so that it doesn't get ruined. And it looks like a little toaster, basically.
Yeah.
And so I know I didn't throw that out when I moved. So it took me like 3 hours to try to find the box that I had it in because I hadn't taken it out of the box since I moved. And I forgot, of course, which box I had it because I still have some boxes in the garage. And so I got frustrated with that because that took about 3 hours to find it. So I found it and I hooked it up and boom, it was still powering on the little toaster. So I said, okay, cool. So I went and got my hard drives and specifically that one that I wanted to use, that little SSD. It's like a 500 gig hard drive. But I was just going to use it for backup for like these recordings and our music, our audio tracks and shit. And so I go to plug it in and the Mac it's not reading it. It's not noticing it. It doesn't even know it's there.
Oh, damn.
So I'm like, what the fuck? So I start getting my other hard drives that I have in this, this little case I have. So I get to the other hard drives and well, is it reading these? So I got some old spin drives, but I said, all right, let me see if it reads these. So it didn't read none of them. I have like 4 or 5 of them. It didn't read none of them until the last drive I tried was the actual spinny drive. It was an old spin drive, but it was a 1 terabyte that I used on my iMac and the computer before the iMac that I used to back up all of my stuff on. So it's got all my backup stuff. And I forget exactly what I have on that one. I just know that was my main backup drive. So I plugged that in, and that one it reads. So I started debating, well, should I just wipe it and start over? But there might be something on here that I might need to find later on, and I'm going to have to, then if I wipe this drive, that's it.
Yeah, then you lose that stuff. I mean, you saved it for a reason.
Yeah. So I said, no, I'm not going to. I'll just wait. I'll just go buy me a new little SSD for this computer. And so that's another thing I got to buy now. So, yeah, so I didn't wipe it. I ended up saying, no, I'm not going to do that.
You could do that now, and even like they make flash drives that are like terabytes.
Yeah, so I'm going to do something like that. But now I got to go. The whole thing was I was trying to save a little money because I had all these drives.
Yeah, what sucks is those old drives are getting older and they won't be compatible. Now you got to back those up to newer things and get rid of them.
Yeah, so that's going to be another thing is, once I get something working, I'm going to probably have to get that old drive that it did read right now.
Yeah.
So I can get all the shit off there and put it on a newer.
Well, if you still got your old computer, maybe get a newer one and then back all those up with it because it'll still read those, right?
Yeah, if I want to use my Helix plugin, I could just connect my old iMac because it was working.
If you could convert them over to a newer drive and then your newer computer will read that new drive.
Yeah. No, but it's like another project I'm going to have to sit there and do on a weekend and shit.
Yeah.
So
that's like.
So, I mean, part of it is like I'm trying to use the older technology with the newer one. I think that's what the problem is.
Yeah, now you're showing your age now because you've always been. That's one thing since we were kids. Like you were Mr. Tech. You always get the new latest and greatest video games. Then you got the Commodore 64, and it's like before I knew anybody that had any computers, you had one.
Yeah.
You were always with the tech stuff, and even in the early 2000s, you were getting into all the programs and shit. And now you sound like a buddy. You're like, oh, I got this old drive here. Why can't I plug it in?
Yeah. So that's I'm gonna have to just break down and. Well, and initially that's what I was gonna do, and then I remembered, hey, I got all those old drives. I'm just backing shit up. So why not just use one of those? That just.
I just learned something off you because I got this tower, and this thing's getting old now, and I put an internal hard drive in there, an SD drive. So I'm like, how am I going to get the stuff out of that when I get a newer one? Yeah. I guess I might have to get one of those toasters.
Yeah, well, they got the cables too now, and then they even have like enclosures you can buy that I've seen. You can buy like the enclosures so you can put those internal hard drives in the enclosure. They're like $20, $25, and then you just plug that, and then those newer enclosures have like the Thunderbolt connecting, so you get a fast read.
That's the one thing, though, I know right now because you got the newer operating system that you have problems. But going into that Thunderbolt, man, that stuff you won't. It's like I can't wait to eventually get there because like all of my interface stuff, if I go in through Thunderbolt, it's so much even faster.
Yeah.
You don't lose connection. You can have so many things running at once.
Yeah.
So
the little dock I bought, actually, that one works great. Everything I've plugged into it worked. I haven't had no problems, plugging stuff in and then running it.
Thunderbolt dock or USB?
Yeah, it plugs into my Thunderbolt in the back of the Mac Mini.
Yeah.
So it is a Thunderbolt dock, but then it's got all these connect, like the SD card reader. It's got the VGA, the old VGA. It's got an HDMI, another HDMI. And then it's got like the USB 3 and USB-C connections.
So it's like a multiple.
It's like a Swiss Army knife.
It's like utility
of inputs.
Yeah.
So but then it connects to the Mac Mini through the Thunderbolt. So.
Yeah, but the cool thing too with the Thunderbolt, like how many you could have like a USB hub connected through a Thunderbolt. You can have like that one you're talking about connected to a Thunderbolt. And it's not going to slow anything down that they're all going into these one or two Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
That takes the information like nothing.
Yeah. So that works. So there's some stuff that works. Like I said, my old monitor works on it. And actually the old monitor has better color than the TV that I use it. Because the TV is like a 26-inch. The monitor was like a 22-inch, so it's smaller.
Yeah.
But when I plugged it in, it looked better. The screens look better on the monitor itself than on the TV. So
TV HD.
Yeah, but I think is 720 because it's an older TV.
Yeah, that's older. Yeah, that's probably why.
So that's why I'm gonna probably just plug it into the one that I got on the wall.
I use TVs. I just buy like 32-inch. I mean, they're like $150. They're so. Well,
that was I was thinking of doing too. Is just go get a newer one, but a small, not like a big 55-inch.
No, like I use 32-inchers, and I mean, when you're sitting at a desk in here, I mean, you've seen my studio, my room here. It's one of the bedrooms. I have a 3-bedroom house, and the one bedroom, it's I'd say probably 10 feet by 8 feet. This is my studio, and I think you put pictures up on our website, haven't you, or on the Instagram?
Well, I put pictures of some of your gear, but it just shows those are taken in that studio room you have, but not like of the whole group.
Show it.
Which kind of reminds me, we were talking about that too. I got to take like a little video. I want to put a little video of my little loft area.
Yeah.
Kind of show like my equipment and stuff. And I was going to make a little short video, and then we could put that on our YouTube channel. And then I had asked you about doing the same thing on your end.
How long you want to do? Like we can do. I've never do the Instagram thing. How long the videos running? We do like a couple minutes or.
Yeah, well, what happens? I think because I don't do a lot of video, I usually just post pictures. But yeah, so I think it's a certain amount of time, like 20 seconds or so. But
Oh,
if the video goes longer, it just breaks it up into consecutive like little segments.
yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I'll put it up if you do like a minute, or it's not gonna be long.
Yeah, no, it's a small little room, and
I could post those on the YouTube channel.
I could probably do like a weekly or bi-weekly thing and start going through like, okay, here's my rack gear, here's what I use this for, and then the next section, here's my amps. I got a ton of tube amps that I know you put those pictures up.
Yeah, I put some of those up.
And and then actually I just ordered a new tube amp, but it's the new 5150. I just found out about it yesterday. I was talking about it.
Ola was talking about it.
Yeah, everybody's going crazy with this thing. It's James Brown, the designer, not the singer,
not the Motown singer,
not the Motown guy. He's dead. So yeah, it's going to be a little hard to get him back. Amps.
We're working on rock amps.
Yeah, and so yeah, James Brown was the original designer with Eddie Van Halen and the owner of PV. So he helped design that amp, and now Fender is making the 5150s.
Yeah,
and they with James Brown are making it's called the Iconic Series, 5150 Iconic Series, and so it's supposed to go back to like the original 5150 block letter, which I have here, but those are now vintage amps, and they're heavy and hard to lug around, and I don't want it crapping out on me because it's now kind of a collector's item.
Yeah.
So I ordered it last night. Jennifer was like, get it.
Oh, shit. Well, that's cool. Like, some more gear we could talk about.
Yeah, so that'll be in October when I finally get it, and then I could start doing a review on it. But people are pooping on it because they're like, one, it only has 2 preamp tubes, whereas like the original 5150 block letter and signature, which there's really no difference. The original one had different tubes in it, and the Sylvania tubes, and then they couldn't get any more of those tubes. So when the signature model came out, they just put in, I'm not sure the type of tubes they put in there, but they were different. So everybody thinks the 5150 block letter has a different tone than the signature, but it's not true. It's just tubes. And mine have been all replaced anyway, so that would have been gone. But yeah, and it had 5 preamp tubes. This new one's only going to have 2. So I saw one YouTube guy talking about it. He's like, yeah, all the middle-aged guys and the tube snobs are like, hey, man, what's up with the 2 preamp tubes? That sucks. Solid state. This is crap. It's going to be crap. And the fact that it's only going to be a $900 amp. I think it's $899. Yeah. Cab's like $500. I'm like, whatever. That's the technology. That's where we're going. I mean, these guys could be snobby about tubes, but like I said, I got a Kemper right here. This thing, man, steals the souls of amps. It's all solid state. I can take my amp, run it through there, and get it. It takes a snapshot of the amp and makes that same exact tone. So whatever, that's what we're moving into. And it's only old guys that are stuck in their heyday, the turn it up guys.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it's always tubes, always tubes. Yeah, tubes sound awesome, but they're also unreliable. And from amp to amp, you get different variances. And as the tube wears, the tones change. So, whatever. Get with the new stuff. So
did you get the cab too?
Yeah.
She's an enabler. Jen's an enabler.
Totally. Like my wife, I married the perfect chick. Most guys she talked me into buying my first Les Paul. I'm always a guy like looking at it, but I don't want to pull the trigger because I'm like, I don't know, man. That's a lot of money. She's like, buy it. I got a new guitar. I got another Schecter 7-string, Hellraiser Hybrid PT7.
And that one I posted the picture on
that's
Instagram.
The one recently posted. And now I love it. The only thing I'd say, the only complaints I had is that it's something I found out about because I thought it was a new problem for me. None of my other guitars have done this. It's called neck dive. So when it's hanging, the neck wants to fall down because the body is so light, the neck's kind of heavier. It's off balance with the if you they put the straps where you normally put them, the guitar wants to dive down. So when you're playing it, I started noticing like my palm, it's hurting because I'm having to hold it up. It's rubbing against that. So it's slowing my speed down and playing. So yeah, I looked online and found, okay, there's such thing called neck dive. Well, people are talking about maybe drill another hole, move your strap buttons. And it's like, other people talk about weights, putting some kind of weight in there. And it's huge cavity.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds kind of stupid, but I guarantee you there's other people out there that have this problem.
Yeah.
They make things called, what is it? Like the automotive, like the wheels.
Yeah.
Wheel weights, they're called. So you can look them up on the internet. Wheel
Yeah. Just go get some fishing weights. Put those motherfuckers.
Well, you could. Those would be bouncing around. But the wheel weights are made to stick on tires. So, they're all weather. They're not coming off.
Yeah.
So you can throw those things if you got like where your pots are.
Yeah.
Wiring, you open up the back, you put them in there, and they'll stick to either the back of the cap there or along wherever you can get space, and that'll weight it down just enough. And those are in like quarter ounces, so you don't have to put in big blocks, and you can put them in enough that you need, and then and stop there. So I'm going to be getting that this week and trying that out. And that's why I can play with that guitar. It sounds great, but
yeah,
just the balance thing.
Well, you were telling me that when I was telling you I wanted to buy an Explorer. Like that body style has problems too.
Well, that with the Explorer, because I have one, I have an Explorer style bass, and if you're playing, it's fine, but sitting down most of the time you're gonna be playing at home, and like you're not gonna be playing guitar live. Yeah. You're a drummer, so you're gonna play drums, but so you're gonna be sitting down playing most of the time. Pretty much 90% of the time. So those things don't sit so well on your lap. They want to tip and stuff. And then they're just awkward when you put them in stands. But yeah. I wasn't saying don't get them. And for anybody out there who likes them, I love that body style. It's just they come with their own little things because
little problems.
Yeah, their own little problems. And they're not big problems. People deal with that all the time. Like I said, I have one. So, and I still love it. I mean, when I play sitting down anyways, most people don't play like you. I play more like they call it classical style. You put the guitar in between your legs and it's posted like, it's like, because I play right-handed. So it sits on your left leg.
Yeah.
And so it's in front of you. And then when you stand and play, you're pretty much playing like the same way anyway.
Yeah.
So that's how I get by with that. But yeah, I just said, hey, it's something to think about. You want to buy it, go ahead and buy it.
No, I mean, and those are good things that, like me not being a guitarist, yeah. I wouldn't realize all that shit.
Those are things you don't think about because why would you? You never. One is if you're not a guitar player, but even just that, even if you are a guitar player, but you've never played a certain body style. Like another pain in the ass one is V's. These are great guitars. A lot of them sold. A lot of people play them. Sitting down, that one's really a pain in the ass because you're not putting it on your right leg. You have to play classical style to sit down.
Yeah.
It's a V. It's not going to sit. So you just keep it in front of you instead of to your side.
Yeah.
But, those are the things of playing and each body style and the little gives and takes with them. Yeah, this one's got a telly body style. So the way it's mounted, I don't know if it's because of that or just it's 7 strings. So the neck's longer. It's got locking tuners. So the metal up top on the headstock, there's more weight there. So it might be a combination of that. And then nowadays, the woods they're using, it's not, oak or maple.
Yeah, they're using lighter woods.
Really lighter woods. So the body doesn't weigh shit.
You would think that they figured that out when they manufactured. And they would have put some weights in there internally or something.
Yeah, well, it's a decent, it's a good guitar. It's not like a $200 guitar.
Yeah.
It's also not a $5,000 guitar, which, I mean, it's like they do all that stuff when you get the custom ones.
Yeah.
That you get the top end guitars. Then they balance them out. Then they make sure they're set up right. Then, all of that. But when you get $1,000 model, which is, it's not cheap. I mean, that's a lot of money to people. But those are not the top of the line guitars. They're kind of little, I guess they're the kind of affordable good guitars.
Yeah.
I don't see myself spending that much money. I spent $3,000 on my Les Paul, and that was like almost 20 years ago. Yeah, I'm never doing that. I don't think I'd do that again. I just can't. I mean, Jennifer might try to talk me into it. I'm like,
and wait till next week if they do. Hey, I just ordered a 3,000.
Well, I've been buying a lot of shit, man. I bought that. I just bought the guitar. I got a lot of stuff to buy. Well, dollar's going down, so I might as well buy it now before it's $10,000 for a guitar.
Yeah. Damn.
But yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
That's cool.
Yeah, if anybody out there knows a fix, just leave comments for the Line 6 thing, because I've been looking. I can't find anything in forums about the freezing up on me. So yeah, I'm frustrated with that. I'm about ready to say, fuck this thing. So.
Well, what would you go with if you're going to replace it?
Oh, well, I got my Kemper, and then I got all my tube amps. I can break my tube amps. Shoot, I even got, talking about a good piece of gear that I bought lately. I think it costs about $700. They call it, it's Seymour Duncan makes them. They're just little power amps, and they're made to be like pedal amps. And that thing's crazy. I can hook that thing and run my mini head to a cab, and there we go. It's like I got a 6505 mini head. Thing's only 20 watts, but if I put it through that little power amp, that's 700 watts. So damn. I can take that. I can have a whole rig that weighs like, I think the lunchbox little mini head is like 10 to 13 pounds. I'm not sure exactly. You can look that up on the internet, but
hey, and then I could get that little Hello Kitty play drum set. And then we could jam with that.
There you go, like Mark Portnoy.
Yeah.
Mike Portnoy.
Yeah, Mike.
Oh, Mark. That's Mike.
Who cares?
I'm old. I forget things. Mike, Mark, whatever.
That guy.
Oh, the guy. The one. Yeah, I don't know. There's other options. And then I even plugged in, this is a pedal that everybody hates. The Metal Zone pedal. Oh, everybody's like, oh, that thing's horrible. The thing is badass. I thought it's horrible too. I never owned one. I was just like, oh, everybody says it's crap.
Yeah.
Then I saw that video that Ola did on it. I'm like, what the? And even he made that second look like, what? Yeah, I think use that pedal is made to be used as a preamp pedal.
Yeah.
I plugged that thing into my power amp. I could basically take a pedal and that power amp and run a whole cabinet, and it sounds badass.
Yeah. Well, and then they just came out with the newest edition of that.
The Waza one. All that fucking Waza shit is just to get more money off of old
shit.
Yeah, like I got the original SD drive, which is a good Boss pedal too. That little SD one.
Yeah.
I got the yellow one. It's $50. That thing's good. It makes your fucking amps crank. I mean, that's what Zach Wilde used to use all the time. That's what he modeled his MXR little pedal off of.
Yeah.
Was that Boss SD1. So, I mean, this is all like pure dork stuff, but, this is what we do.
So, I'm looking at, because I bought that Katana, that new Katana amp.
Yeah.
But once again, I'm not a guitarist. So it's like, it's good amp, but to get sounds on it, you got to sit there and play with it.
Yeah.
And, and mess with all the, like, because it's got a computer interface you download. And it's like, you're still, like, I was doing it the other day, about a month ago or whatever. But I was sitting there for like 3 hours one night, and I didn't even practice at all. Because I was just messing with it. Like,
welcome to the guitar player rabbit hole.
Yeah.
These processors, and you're trying to learn them. You're trying to mess with the software. You're just tinkering around, and you get nothing done. So sometimes simple, really simple is better.
It's better. Yeah.
Plug it in, you turn it on. It's got a couple knobs. Fucking go. Just start practicing, playing, just creating.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I went down the rabbit hole with my Kemper, learning to use it, watching video after video, trying different things, and I still probably don't know how to do half the shit this thing does. And then last year, like I said, I started with the Line 6 Helix. And that thing, it's like, it does a lot of shit. If in theory, if I can get freezing shit to stop, it's supposed to be pretty badass.
Yeah.
I don't know. So.
Well, you got me to buy. That's why I bought that plug-in. It's the native plug-in for it.
Yeah.
So it's basically that equipment, but in a plug-in form, and it's cheaper. It's like what, 1/3, 1/4 of the cost.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So
that's why I went and got it, but now I can't. It's like dead to me.
But that's just software compatibility. I bought that same one too.
Yeah,
because I bought it. I'm like, dude, this thing's cool. It's like I have my Kemper in my DAW.
Yeah,
so my digital audio workstation is DAW.
Yeah.
So yeah, I use it all the time. And actually, what's cool about it? It's you got all those effects. You don't have to just use them on guitars. You can use them on your drums. You can use them on vocals. You can use them on anything.
Yeah.
You can add, the reverbs, the delays. You can put that shit on your snares. You can put it,
which I was looking forward to with the new computer, but I'm gonna have to wait on that.
Yeah.
But at least, like I said, I'm a drummer, so my drum software, my drum plugin, that's working. So,
go.
So I'll just live with it for now.
Hey, just drum, all right? Don't worry about it. Get on.
That's what I think somebody's trying to tell me.
It's telling you, dude, just drum, all right?
Stop.
So, yeah, and just a heads up to people out there, we're starting to work on our next song. Joe sent me some rough pieces, and I started working on it last night. So,
you did?
Yeah. And now that I'll be free with this other project, I'm going to start putting more time. Give me like a week or two. Maybe by the next podcast, hopefully I'll have the rough structure out, and then I can send you some what you think if you want to go with it.
Cool, because I got some ideas this week I was coming up with for it.
Okay.
But I wanted to hear what you add to it, because of course I just sent you like rough riffs.
Yeah.
So I know you're gonna make them better or whatever. So
a little different too. But so I'm gonna send you see what you think.
Yeah.
It's all based off your idea. It's gonna be in the same key, I think. Well, I'll play around with it too. If it sounds better in another key, I'll bounce that off you and see what you think.
All right.
I might, hey, what if we drop it down a little? But
yeah, because I originally wrote that in standard E because it was on my acoustic. My acoustic I got set in E, and then my electric I got in drop D. So if I'm usually trying to like jam a little metal, I use my electric. And then if I'm just practicing, just get some ideas and shit, I'll use the acoustic.
Well, here's one tip. I have my acoustic tuned down also because I do D or D. So I'm down a whole step than you.
Yeah.
But then if I want to play an E on the acoustic, I just got a capo. They're like $10. Put a capo on there, now you're an E. You want to go up even higher. There's songs like Hotel California. I think they're even a whole step up.
Oh, yeah.
So
I bought a capo, but I don't know how the fuck to use it. So you're going to have to go over it.
Yeah, it's simple. You just put on the neck and clamp it. And wherever you clamp it, it's like you just move the nut. You just go.
So now that now becomes the top of the.
That becomes your last fret.
Yeah.
So you go up a whole step or a half step every increment. So.
All right. Yeah. Then that way I can set it.
So you go down to D, and then now you could be playing where I usually tuned, and then you want to go up to E, you just move it, boom, up to the second fret, and that'll be E. Now you're in E. But then the other thing too that might mess with your head is now everything's moved.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I didn't want to fuck with yet, because I'm still learning the fretboard like in E. And if I start moving everything down, then I got to keep thinking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. Oh, you're the guitarist anyway. I'm just using it like for song ideas and stuff. So it's not like something major.
No. But yeah, I'll get that stuff to you, and hopefully we'll have another song here soon.
Hopefully this one will go faster. It should, because now we kind of got a pattern how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
The first one we were making it up.
We would have had it sooner. I have a lot on my plate. I had other project that I committed to, and so that's going to end. I haven't finished. I'm going to send out the tracks, send the stems so they can have it, mix it, and then it's out of my hands.
Yeah.
And when that's all done and mixed and they release it, then I'll talk more about it. But,
yeah.
That's not my project to talk about. So.
Cool. So it's kind of going along here. You want to get into the Turn It Up segment?
Let's do it.
We still got to get some sound effect music for this, or a little bumper music for this.
Yeah, we're going to have sound bites. We're going to have,
But all right, let's get into the Turn It Up.
Turn it up.
You want to introduce this week's band?
All right, this week we're going to do Tesla. For those of you that don't know them, they're based out of Sacramento, but they're based out of Stockton. Stockton is a suburb of Sacramento.
Yeah.
So most people wouldn't even know. Well, what's Stockton? I don't know what that is. That's like, I'm out in a suburb of Oakland. So I just say I'm from Oakland.
Yeah.
And people know of Oakland. Yeah. So they based out of the Central Valley, out of Sacramento. They're signed to Geffen Records originally. They've had a number of hits, a lot of hits, really.
Oh, they had a shitload of hits.
They're kind of like a sleeper band because most people don't go, look at diehard Tesla fan, but then
they know the song. Like if you play it, they'll go, oh yeah, I love that song. But yeah, they're not like, that's weird. Unless you're a chick, because they were a chick band.
Yeah, more so, but not so much. I mean, they weren't like. They get thrown in that hair metal.
Yeah, they were a hair metal band.
They weren't that whole like Poison.
I think because they weren't from LA.
Yeah, that LA makeup shit. They were more jeans and t-shirts, and they just just like rock, like classic rockers, really. But they were in the metal scene. They have some heavy stuff and good ballads and really good all around.
A lot of harmonies.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah, they're a real good band. They have a lot of hits if you go look them up. It's like we can't play anything. That's the one thing that sucks. Because we're talking about, I like to play a little bit of their music so people that don't know could hear. Turn them on to new. But you just have to take our word for it. Go search your.
Yeah, everybody has like nowadays these music platforms that they listen to, that they subscribe to.
Yeah, so just go on there and search them.
Yeah, it's not like you can't find it.
It just sucks with all this copyright bullshit.
Yeah, because you can't. You get demonetized. Well, it's not like we're getting monetized anyway.
We're breaking out.
Maybe we get 2 fans over in the UK.
Yeah, across the pond.
Moving up. Yeah, turned it up. But they're a good band. I always really liked them, and I started getting it like by the time they were at their height of fame, I was getting into heavier and heavier music.
Yeah, we kind of fell into that. Yeah. No, I had bought their first, it was on cassette, but their first album I bought on cassette. And I remember jamming that all the time. And then they just kept getting more hits. Well, yeah, we got into harder shit, So kind of moved away from it.
By the time they got huge, it was like mid-late 80s. And yeah, we were moving in to Metallica, Slayer, all that stuff. We were getting into that stuff.
So that's Scrubs, that Screamer.
Plus, like, we're from the Bay Area. I mean,
yeah,
we're home of thrash. This is where it was created. This is, you got Exodus, Testament, Violence. Metallica came up here. They weren't from here. Cliff was.
Yeah.
But the rest of the guys in the original band moved up here because of Cliff.
Yeah.
I asked him to join. He's like, well, I'm not going to LA. You guys got to move up here. So I'm not going down there. That's a bunch of posers down there with their makeup and stuff. I can do that.
Which actually turned out to be a good move for them.
Yeah.
Because they were kind of, at that time, they would have been lost in that, in the hair band.
Well, what I hear, because actually, if you watch, I think I referenced it in one of our other podcasts, is Murder in the Front Row. It's a good documentary about the Bay Area thrash. And Yeah, Slayer was from down there, and they stayed down there. Yeah. But I hear is that like the Sunset Strip, those like metal thrash bands weren't able to get in there. They were just getting, it was harder for them to get in there. So they were going out and playing in the valley. Thrash bands were playing mentioned all these outskirt places where like thrash was growing.
Yeah.
And you had like bands like Suicidal will come out of them. I know they started out more punk, but they got to be really thrashy.
Yeah.
And then, the Bay Area. I mean, so that was a big influence on us, right?
Yeah.
Gosh, I mean, that's where we come from. Shit, I live in Dublin now, and this is kind of another little micro home of thrash. You got Dublin High, where Testament, Chuck Billy went there, Phil Demmel went there.
Yeah, all of the Exodus, some of the guys from Exodus.
Yeah, so, but it's I don't know. Hold on, old man brain fart time. All right.
Yeah, if you listen to it long enough, we'll just mumble off here. That's how we'll end the episode.
Anybody see my dentures? Billy, get off my lawn.
So, that's crazy. Well, yeah, Tesla, not Testament. Tesla, look them up.
Yeah, they're a good band, kind of a sleeper band. And they unfortunately get thrown in with all the hair bands.
With the hair band, yeah. Well, because they came out at that time. And they had more melodic kind of ballady shit.
Yeah.
They had some hard hits, but most of it was.
I like Modern Day Cowboy, man. That
Yeah.
On there on the guitar, just whoa,
Yeah.
The singer though, like, what's up with the white? Always wearing white. That's one thing in rock and roll metal that just don't work. I don't know why people keep trying it and doing it. He kind of looks like he wants to be in that band Angel.
Yeah.
Most people don't even know about that band. They were big on the Sunset Strip. They were supposed to break big. Everybody thought they were going to break big. Their gimmick was they were always wear all white.
Yeah.
They just never did. They didn't break. But I remember going to see a band. This was, what was it? Atreyu. First time I saw them, like 2006 or 7. And they come out in all white jumpsuits. And it's like, I don't know. It doesn't work. It's just not metal. Like, it's just.
But I think they just try to be different. But they're just out. It's too far out there.
All white. I don't know. It just doesn't work, man. I don't know. But hey, don't fault him for that.
Yeah.
Good singer, good band.
Yeah, he's got a hell of a voice.
Yeah.
Even though he looks like a chick, but a lot of those bands they look like chicks.
Hey, well, some people, that's your thing. Then.
Especially nowadays, we can get in trouble for that.
Hey, we're not saying it's just clever.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. We're just two dumb Mexicans, right? Trying to find our way in life. Yeah, but that was a pretty good one, man. How long that's over an hour.
Yeah, we were supposed to start early too.
Yeah.
I called him earlier. I said, hey, let's start a little earlier. And then I had shit with my dog going on and stuff. So by the time we started, it was actually about the same time we start.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's the thought that counts, right?
Yeah. And we try, and next time we'll make it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, guess we'll wrap it up here. Make sure you guys check out our website, 2 Bros Music, all one word.com to get the latest updates from us. I post, we run the blog there, post updates and announcements and everything. And you can get a hold of us through there if you want to shoot us an email or leave comments on our posts. And then we're on Instagram also.
All right, Joe. It's been good. And talk to you all soon.
All right. Until the next one. You guys take it easy.